my YouTube channel, or if it's your very first time here, hi, my name is Missa, and just subscribe now, go follow me on Instagram, do all that jazz because I need followers. So today, as you can see with the title, I'm going to be pitting a very expensive, beloved palette in my collection against a much cheaper palette that is brand new to my collection. That annoying man seems to have gone away. Touch wood. Anyway, so yes, a lot of you asked me to buy this, to do this exact video. I was thinking in my head to buy it anyway, but not for this video because I didn't put two and two together. But yeah, here we are, and we're gonna put them together. I've got obviously one on one eye, one on the other. Ain't gonna tell you which. Have a guess. I'm not gonna show you super up close. You're gonna have to guess from far away, but I think you will agree from far away. Doesn't really look like I'm wearing two different palettes, does it? I must admit, when I opened this up and saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, perfect dupe, perfect dupe for Jeffree Star Blue Blood. I keep wanting to say blood sugar. But when I opened up my Blue Blood, I was like, quite a lot of discrepancies. However, again, you wouldn't really think I'm wearing two different palettes. Anyway, I'm boring myself by talking. I do a few swatches at the end. So if you want to see which is on which and what I think, then all you need to do is be sensible and keep on watching. I'm going to use my Revlon Candid Concealer as my primer on both sides, obviously, because they both need an even chance. So I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution palette on this side, my right hand side, and I'm going to use my beloved Blue Blood on this side. So I'll leave that over there. I really don't know what I'm going to do here. Probably mess things up. Right. It's like way more different when you actually put them side by side. I'm going to take the shade Iceberg from the Makeup Revolution palette. Quite powdery in the pan, but that's okay. This is a Jessup brush from a set of them. I'm just gonna do like a round look, probably a cut crease or something like that, just to like test the blendability of both palettes. I've got hooded eyes if you're new here, so I do this creepy face to make sure that my shadow's above my crease. And that is kind of surprisingly pigmented. It looked almost like bright pastel-y blue. Very much like Blue Monday, but this is definitely going to be lighter than Blue Monday. But, I mean, it's very, very beautiful. As far as like lovely, almost royal blues go. I'm just going to blend the edge of this just with another Jessup brush. I'll link this set down below because they are incredible. They're just Zoeva dupes from Amazon. I might actually quickly, just because this is the most vibrant colour in the palette, by the way, I will show you. I'm wearing a white t-shirt and my t-shirt is covered in bright blue. I'm going to take this all the way in the inner corner. I'm just blending lightly, not a lot of pressure. I don't want to like knock the blue off or anything. I just want it to slightly soften edges. It's going quite patchy. You can probably see just there, just with my blending, it's kind of coming off. And then from Blue Blood, I'm going to take Blue Monday, which is the most similar looking at the palette. I've done a couple of videos on Blue Blood, so I'm not going to talk about this side as much, like about blending or anything. Just know that I think it's a really, really good palette, and I've only had trouble with one shade from it, which I won't be using today anyway. I think you can probably see quite clearly there is quite a big difference in the shade, and I do feel like this one goes on more pigmented straight off the bat, but I do feel like that's maybe because it's darker, that's why in my head it is, because this is very pigmented, but it's not quite as pigmented as the Jeffree Star one. I mean, it's gonna look different, but I'm gonna go in with Freeze from the Makeup Revolution palette. Just on that same Jessup brush that I was using to blend it out. Oh, it's very dusty in the pan. That's okay, I don't mind a dusty shadow as long as it applies well on my eye. I'm gonna start just going around this. And then from Blood Sugar, Blue Blood even, I'm gonna use Blue Blood. I'm gonna use Drench from Makeup Revolution. Just on that 227. And just swish this around. I really need something to deepen. Oh, I dipped in the wrong shade. I really need something to deepen up my outer corner. It's really stressing me out. This is a really pretty pastel shade. It's kind of covering up that first shade, the second shade I used, so I'm getting a really harsh line back, but that's okay. If you know me, if you are not new to this channel, you know that I go dark to light, so I do go back and make sure everything looks fine. I remember getting a comment once on my first Blue Blood video I put up. And the comment just read, "Ew, blue eyeshadow looks gross on blue eyes. Just block them. I don't need that negativity." This is actually really building up to be more pigmented. I was meaning to have this as my perfect blending shade, but that's not a complaint. I'll come back to that. But from Blue Blood, I'm gonna take Minty. Gosh, that is dusty, Jeffree. This looks most similar in the pan when I swatched it. Minty is way more blue. But that's I mean, you can really see the difference I feel though now when I'm going in with this third shade between the two sides. I do feel like I look like I'm getting a smoother blend on the Blue Blood side, and this one is not quite as nice. So I'm just gonna go back in with those two middle shades, my voice is going, those two middle shades I was using, and just try and get rid of that harsh line that I've got now. And then I'm just gonna go back in with that first shade, Iceberg, from Makeup Revolution, and just try and re-intensify. See how it works now that there's a few pastels down as well. Because it went over the concealer really nice, but will it go over now that I've got other shadows there? Very suspicious. Like, there is a real difference between that shade and then the lighter ones, which is good. Okay, so I think the only way I'm gonna be able to really deepen up the outer corner on my Makeup Revolution side is by using the shade Arctic, which is a metallic shade. I think it's supposed to kind of mimic Ocean Ice from the Jeffree Star one. It's not, obviously. I am going to wet this because I feel like that's going to give it a much more fair shot at being pigmented. I'm going to just use my Morphe setting mist. There we go, look, depth. That's what I was wanting. That's actually a really beautiful deep metallic blue. Like, I'm actually quite shocked at how pretty that is. I just don't want to take this into my crease or anything, that's the only thing, because it is metallic and I don't mind metallics in my crease, not at all. But I don't know how it'll look if I'm doing a cut crease. I'll just pick it up like on a fluffier brush and just kind of blend it up a bit. Just because I do need more depth, like it's just fact. Like look at the Jeffree Star side, it's way darker. Plus for doing a cut crease, if you're gonna want it to actually like stand out, you need to have lighter at the front or darker at the back, or vice versa even if you want to, but like you need to have some kind of depth. That's building up actually really nicely in the crease. If I put Ocean Ice on the other side though, you're gonna be like, wow, that is an unfair comparison. That is a really nice like drugstore blue though. Wow. Okay, finally I feel like I can put a cut crease on this side because it is deeper, but I'm gonna now put on, I'm gonna have to do it, I'm gonna have to put Ocean Ice, sorry, on this outer corner. I would usually like press this over a glitter glue, to be honest, just because it is like a chunky shadow. And it does benefit from a glitter glue, like it makes it more special. But I don't want to give it that unfair advantage. Even like a general metallic shade, if you press over a glitter glue, I often find you get something way more from it. You see how that just has like proper sparkle in it, whereas this one is just metallic. It's very nice, but this one is a more superior shadow. I think it's quite a fancy formula. Let me just grab Ocean Ice on my finger. This shade just needs a bit of love and TLC if you want it to really pop. But I'm gonna clean that finger and grab Arctic from Makeup Revolution just to keep it fair, and just press that here too. Right, I'll go through my cut crease and I'll be back, and I'll probably look slightly more sane because right now I look ridiculous. My hand is like covered. I just quickly threw on my Jeffree Star side cut crease and I'm filling that in firstly with the shade Cullinan. And now I'm going to go through on the cut crease on the other side of my eye. I don't know why I did it this way, but I just did, so 2 minutes. I've just cleaned that brush off, and from the Makeup Revolution palette, I'm going to use the shade Cool. I'm using the ABH eye primer, by the way. I'm not wetting this, I'm just using it over the primer. I think this one might be really similar. In fact, probably one of the nicest light shades, light metallics I've ever seen from Makeup Revolution. Are you seeing it? Am I too bright? You see? It's very pretty. I can't really find another, what's it called? Metallic shade that actually matches in the other palette. That is in the nude. Why is he so loud? He knows I'm filming. What I'm trying to say is, I'm just gonna go in with the deepest shade that I used on the outer corner. And I'm just gonna try and like blend it into the white that I used. The white metallic. Oh great. I'm just gonna take it in at an angle just to make it a bit more interesting. I will blend that a bit better, of course, but yeah, that's the Makeup Revolution side. And I'm just gonna clean that brush off, and I'm gonna grab Ocean Ice. Again, this is gonna be really unfair. The shade does need a tacky base or a glitter glue to really shine. Right, I'm just gonna make sure I'm evened out, and then I'm gonna clean up my fallout because my face is literally covered and I feel like real dirty and gross right now. Put on the rest of my makeup and then I'll come back and we'll do lower lash line together. And then I think everything will look better when the rest of my base is on. I just like put all my makeup on and put my lashes on. I was like, what is different? Like, these lashes definitely match. This pair just look thicker because what's behind it is darker, if that makes any sense, because they are the same lashes, I swear. Right, let's do our under eyes now. I'm going to quickly use this LA Girl Neon Shockwave Liner in Fresh on the waterline. It's more green, obviously, than blue, but it's just what I'm feeling. Kind of thinking like nudes for the lower lash line, because I don't think I've ever used them from the Jeffree Star palette. I don't know, I just don't fancy doing like blue all round. I'm not sure why. I might just go crazy and just do something very un-Melissa. I might go in with Climate. Some of these mattes are quite powdery and others aren't. I'm just gonna run this along. Can you see that? Let me use a more dense brush. It's like a very pale brown, like almost nothing under there. Anyway, I'm going to use that same brush, a bit of Morphe setting spray, and the shade Immerse, this one. I just want to test this shade. And just run this along the lower lash line. Big fleck of it on my eyeball. It's actually a really pretty colour and it's very complimentary for that blue, do you think? It is kind of falling out over my face, but it's probably going to be quite easy to get away. Definitely needs to be wet to get its potential. And then on the outer corner, I'm just going back in with that wrong shade, Arctic, deep metallic blue, just to kind of connect it with the top lash line. And inner corner, same shade I used all over the lid, the shade Cool. I would say, I was looking at this up close and personal, like the Makeup Revolution one actually looks prettier than the Jeffree Star one. Now that it's had time to like settle down. It just, I don't know, the tone is slightly prettier. It looks nicer on top of this ABH base. There's just something about it that's nicer, which is really weird. Oh, look at that inner corner. That's bright. Right, same thing, Jeffree Star side. I'm first trying with the shade Celebrity Skin, and then I'm gonna go in with whatever that one's called. What's it called? Crystal Flesh. I feel like this matte's gonna show up a bit better on my skin. I've never used this shade before. Yeah, so that's already, that shows up a bit better. I mean, it's not hugely different to like my skin, but it is different. Not enough that you'd be like, oh, that's actually potentially my like perfect nude eyeshadow. I mean, on the skin that's not hugely different. This one seems more warm toned. And then a bit of Ocean Ice on the outer corner, which I really need to wear. This is going to destroy my makeup, so I need to lean forward, so I'm probably going to be off screen. Just the fallout would ruin my base is what I mean. It's pretty similar under there. I would say maybe the Makeup Revolution one slightly prettier, just because it's a bit warmer, I don't know. And then inner corner, let me grab a different one of that brush and the shade Cullinan. Throw that in there. That appears to be a fleck of eyeshadow and I can't get rid of it. There we are then. Right, I'll throw on a quick bit of mascara and a lip and then I'll come back and we'll see what we think. Okay, well this is not my finest work, but this is the Jeffree Star eye, the Jeffree Star side. Raising my eyebrows so you can see it a bit better, falling off camera. It's the under eye. Blue in the outer corners are really blended so well, I know. God, these lashes are so beautiful. They are Franken lashes. I've stuck two pairs together and I don't know what they are. It's the Jeffree Star side, and then this of course is the Makeup Revolution side. Side by side, I mean you wouldn't really know I was wearing two different palettes, I don't think. I think when I was putting it on I was like, wow, that's really different, but now I think just because your brain tries to make sense of what you're seeing, like it kind of tricks you into thinking you're looking at the same thing. But individually these things were quite different, but I'm actually quite impressed. I'd give myself C for effort, F for execution, but we were just getting a feeling for the shadows. I just really want to quickly swatch the shadows that I used today side by side and see like the similarity, we'll say. So the first one I started off with was Iceberg. This is from Makeup Revolution, and I compared that to Blue Monday. Then I used Freeze from Makeup Revolution. That actually swatches really beautifully, but it is quite flaky and a chunk did fall off, but I mean from there, wow. I compared that to Blue Monday from the Jeffree Star palette. Very different shades when swatched side by side. Then I used Drench from Makeup Revolution and I compared that to Minty. Very different, very different. What did I then use? I then used Arctic from Makeup Revolution. Didn't think that would swatch well. And I compared that to Ocean Ice. This is gonna be really crumbly when I swatch it, I think. Oh, it's not so bad. I mean, it's no comparison. The light brown was called Climate in the Makeup Revolution compared to Celebrity Skin from Jeffree. Just a bit darker, a bit maybe more cool toned. And then it was Immerse from Makeup Revolution, Crystal Ice from Jeffree Star. They're pretty different too. But I mean, that's very similar, isn't it? Let me show you a bit closer. I'm just gonna turn down the brightness. Cute that up. So there is them all. And then a bit closer. There we go. I think Ocean Ice was the most horrible comparison to make, realistically. It's probably the coolest shade in the Jeffree Star palette. So I guess that leaves, would I recommend the Makeup Revolution one instead of the Blue Blood? No, I wouldn't. I do think Jeffree Star just has a superior quality. Obviously, it's morbidly expensive, but I prefer to pay for, I'd rather have one of these than 5 of these, and I've owned now 5 of these. I've got the 4 other ones plus now this one, although I decluttered the 4 other ones. and there's also a red one. However, if I look at this as a standalone palette and what I've done on my eye, I think it's a good look. I think it's incredibly similar to the Jeffree Star side. I just feel like with the Blue Blood, there's a few, the shades are more vibrant, they've got more pigment behind them. Also, this shade here, Ocean Ice, very special. The shade right beside it, called Entitled, is very special as well. This one is not, there's no dupe of this in the Makeup Revolution one. I just feel in my heart of hearts, having only played with this once, that this Jeffree Star is superior, and it should be, because it's from a high-end brand that claims to put a lot of money behind his eyeshadows, and I feel like I can see that. The Blood Sugar is incredible. The Jawbreaker is very, very, very good. It's actually incredible. The colour scheme isn't as much up my street. Really looking forward to testing this now, being really critical of it. But yeah, I think this is the superior palette. However, if you're wanting like a capsule blue palette, kind of blue-green, because this has a lot of greens in it, I'd say as many greens as blues, then this is a really good palette. I enjoy playing with it. I had no problem blending it. I had no problems with this palette at all, really, apart from the fact that there was no super, super deep matte blue, which I do get from this palette. But I mean, this one is probably quite dark for a lot of people. For me, I would like a blackened blue, but it performed really well. With this shade here, even being probably nicer than the Jeffree Star one, which is just, it's literally, I'm having a hard time saying that, but it's true. It's also got a silver in it, which is really complimentary for a kind of blue-green palette. And yeah, I thought it was really good. I had a good time playing with it, although I didn't really create very good art today. I created something, and I got to test them head to head. So for £10, yeah, because this is almost 5 times more expensive. 5 times more expensive. It's a shocking amount of money difference between these two. This is something that I'm now gonna definitely keep in my collection, because I don't have a drugstore like bluish green palette. I just don't have that. I've got a few drugstore palettes with a pop of blue or a pop of green, but nothing like capsule like this, and I think this is really good for that, and it's going to stay in my collection. However, would I ever get rid of this? No, I get rid of Hamish before I got rid of my Blue Blood palette. Sorry, darling. So yeah, that's my thoughts and conclusions on these two palettes. Let me know what you think down below. Are you going to buy this now? No? Have you already done it? What are you going to do? Are you going to maybe buy this one now? So that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. I do reply to them all. Give the video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it and you want to see more comparisons. I have done one previous Makeup Revolution comparison, which was comparing it to Huda. This one here. I'll also link it up in the corner. And subscribe, because it's just a polite thing to do. And just subscribe. I want to say a massive, massive thank you to my Patreon. Thank you guys so much for being able to support me in a financial manner. But also, I feel like we all got to know each other a lot more after my first Patreon only video. Like, it was just a bit more, I feel like we all just clicked a bit more. You got to know me a whole lot better than most people know me, and a lot of you shared stories with me that A, broke my heart, and B, I feel like I know you a lot better. So I just think that connection is really special. So thank you for the financial help, and thank you for opening up to me, a lot of you. And even those of you that just left me a comment, I won't say what your comments were, but the comments, honestly, I went to bed that night very happy that I'd shared my story with you. If you don't or can't want to be a Patreon, just know that watching my videos is a massive support, but also giving them a thumbs up is like a bigger support than you actually realise, I think. It's an incredible help to creators. And if you don't want to sign my Patreon, it's down below in the description box, from $1 a month, and that lets you join our very frequent giveaways and also our Patreon only videos. So on that note, I'm gonna piss off because my back's sore, and I hope I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!